Somewhere in here there's a Flash Gordon reference. Dispense Warlock and Ajax to bring back his body? I think. It's been 35 years. I don't know. Hey, it's Brain Muffin back with a beer review, and today we have Warlock from Southern Tier. Now this time of year, there are many beers that are pumpkin or pumpkin spice, different things, pumpkin pie spice, and we've reviewed several of them on this channel. In fact, for Review 100, I did one of my favorite beers from this time of year, and that is the Imperial Pumpkin, but it's the Bourbon Barrel Pumpkin Ale from Alltech down there in Lexington. And that one is very good. The bourbon's very good. And I'll click in the description below for that review. Just look for Review 100. So this is a little bit different twist on that. Now, I don't know who does the grammar for some of these craft brewers, but they really need to hire somebody else. Because this is the second time I've seen this. Ale brewed with pumpkin and with pumpkin pie spice. You don't need the second with. You just need ale brewed with pumpkin and pumpkin pie spice. So this is a stout, so it's not a typical pumpkin ale that's maybe golden in color or slightly orange. Sometimes a little bit deep golden. We saw with the Sam Adams pumpkin beer, it was a bit deeper golden color, orangey color. So this is an Imperial Stout. The other thing is this is a 10%. It is a seasonal, so it's an Imperial Stout brewed with pumpkin and pumpkin pie spice. So I fully expect to get some other notes here other than the pumpkin pie. Now I've never had this. Now this says 8.6 by volume, but Untapped said 10. So we'll see. Nice smoke. Oh, it's got a lot of pumpkin pie spice. That's for definitely sure. It is dark like a stout. So it'll be interesting to see if we get any stout bitterness from it. On a regular stout, all of the bitterness is supposed to come from the roasted malt. Now in a not a Belgian stout, there's something else. It'll come to me. Wow, that is like a pumpkin pie. It really is. Almost has some yeasty notes in there, almost like you've got some crust. And little hints, just little hints of a stout kind of lingering around. That is very good. Wow. It is definitely stout. It has some stout bitterness. You got some roasted malt there that's pretty present, but you've got cinnamon and nutmeg and allspice kind of dancing around, and the pumpkin spices dancing around. That it's not quite as good as the Kentucky Ale pumpkin, but it is really, really, really close. I'm going to rate this one a 5, because I think it's really fantastic. But as far as which one I like better, that Bourbon Barrel Stout is still gonna. Bourbon Barrel, I keep calling it stout. The Bourbon Barrel Pumpkin Ale has a slight leg up, and so that bourbon's going to give also the bourbon flavor, and the oak is going to give some vanilla flavors. Which this doesn't have. Now this put in a bourbon barrel and aged, that may be something to write home about. That may have to be a 6 out of 5. So, but yes, you've got nice pumpkin and the spice combination, very reminiscent of a pumpkin pie without the sweetness. It's just the aroma, but you don't get that really sweet. So it's not a milk stout. There's not any kind of lactose hanging around and making it heavy. You get real hints of kind of a biscuity malt just on the nose, just very kind of hint. So imagine if you had a pie crust, it's just kind of there, right? A pumpkin pie is open. It's not covered over with more crust like, say, maybe an apple pie might be, but it's an open pie. So the crust, sometimes a graham cracker crust, it's just there. It's not really noticeable, and it's very similar here. There's this very hint of kind of a biscuity malt. And then the spices dance around your tongue. And you get hints of a stout there. You get a little bit of malt bitterness. You get the roasted malt, almost a little bit of nuttiness in there. But then you have the pumpkin spice and the pumpkin. I think the spices are a little bit stronger than the pumpkin flavor itself. All those spices just kind of dance around your tongue, and then with the high alcohol content, you get a slight alcohol burn near the back. But it's very late and very, very subtle. I mean, this is definitely a sipping beer. Looks like it's artificially carbonated, which is a shame. It is clear at the bottom, so it's just the way the carbonation is sticking around. It feels like it's artificially carbonated, a bright tank. And, you know, a lot of places do that, but man, the bottle fermented, what they call re-fermenting in France, the bottle conditioned ales are just so much smoother usually. But this does have hints of you've got that dark roasted malt. I don't know if they use black patent, some do, some don't. It is the right color for a stout, very nice and dark, but this is definitely a sipping beer. You could have some cheeses and other things just to kind of cleanse your palate, but this is definitely one you're going to let it warm up. The malts will open up more. So you really want to have it, if you're going to any food at all with this, you really want to have stuff that's just going to cleanse your palate so that you enjoy this beer the entire time. The beer is the centerpiece here, and any food around it is just going to be something to kind of nourish the tongue and cleanse the mouth, cheeses and stuff like that. Some light foods, maybe some very light fish that aren't so fishy, you know, just kind of there. Maybe a tilapia or something like that. Just kind of mild seasoning, not much at all. I mean, that's just really there to kind of get the pumpkin spice off your tongue so that you can enjoy this beer some more. But this is fantastic. I mean, I'm really nitpicking at this point, little parts, but I still like the Kentucky, the Alltech, you know, the Kentucky Ale better, their pumpkin bourbon beer. But this is very good. All right, so there we have Southern Tier. Thank you very much, Southern Tier. This is a good beer, and one I will probably I don't know how well it would age. That'd be an interesting thing. I think a lot of the spices are going to tone down, and you're not going to get that. It might turn back into a regular stout, maybe with hints of pumpkin. So it probably doesn't age well, but it is a nice beer, nice big beer, 8.6%, and fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the comments. And Kaylin Webb, I'd like to give a shout out to you, and also Lime Green Hulk, and others who have been commenting. I appreciate it. And at some point I've been trying to figure out how to do some beer stuff that's not a beer review. I got some ideas floating in my head, but nothing finalized yet. So we'll do something. And I also got to get back to homebrewing. People keep asking me when am I going to make beer again, and I really have no idea. So we've got to do that as well. Thank you very much, and we will see you later. Bye. Gotta change that. Time's a wasting. Interspacing. Alright. Somewhere in here there is a